When
we are YouTube Live.
Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton, Kevin Pipple, and your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Prospector Radio. We're here, we're live, and we got a very special guest with us tonight. Mr. Jeff Williams is back.
Yeah.
What's going on, Jeff?
Oh, I'm just trying to keep my booty warm. Got the fire going. And I got a nice pot of coffee brewing and staying out of this wind. It's nasty out there.
Is there really coffee in that pot?
Yeah. I don't got my glove on, but yeah, it's really hot. And you can see the steam coming out right there. I don't know if you can see that.
I see it.
That's some real coffee.
Yeah, it's so thick you got to spoon it out.
I ain't seen a coffee pot like that in years.
Yeah, well, so I got some old Folgers and Hills Brothers too. I bet you haven't seen that. Hold on a second, get my lantern out of the way. Yep, lanterns are real. I've got a lot of people ask me, is that thing real? Yeah, it's real. I got my Hills Brothers coffee.
Is there any coffee in it?
Yeah, there's a little bit.
Is it still
no good? There's some left. I got to get some more. I got another can up there.
Can.
So, and you just scoop it in. Oh, that fire feels good. Man, it feels good.
Is that
like Jeff, you're kind of like me. Like if you seen that lantern at a garage sale, there'd be a lady next to you going, "Oh, that would look nice on the coffee table." You're like, "Give me that because I know it works."
Yeah, I know. Actually, when I got it, it didn't work. I got it at an antique store, and the lady, I think she let me have it for like $20. And there's an antique store that used to be up in Searchlight, and we found it up in there, right across from Terriblehurst gas station. And so it didn't work. So I tore the whole thing apart and rebuilt it. And it works beautiful now.
Ain't you ever found none of those in any of those old mines?
Yeah, but they're usually beat up. They've either been dropped or somebody has abused them. Mm-hmm. So it's really sad. Yeah. We found some miner lanterns, headlamps in there, and we've got those somewhere here in the cabin. And they were in good shape, and I got one cleaned up and working too. It's around here somewhere.
You mean the calcium ones?
Oh, the carbide lanterns.
Carbide, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got a big can of carbide over there, and we load it up, and you put water in there, and it produces acetylene gas. Strike that monker up, adjust it, and you're good to go.
Man.
So I love those things. But I'll tell you what, the bottom, I mean, there's a reaction between the water and the carbide, and the bottom gets super, super hot.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful with that when you're wearing it on the top of your skull cap.
I can imagine.
It'll heat it up. That thermal reaction that's taking place in there.
Oh,
so
nuts. I see why they don't make those anymore, correct?
Well, open flame too. That's a little dangerous. I don't think I want to have an open flame in a mine.
Yeah. Hey, but it was light. We could see.
Yeah, it was good light. I've actually taken them down into mines and used nothing but just to see, to relive the experience.
All right.
Actually, they do pretty good, and that's where you get all your miners graffiti from. Is because they use them. The acetylene, it's black. I don't know if you noticed that when you hold it up to something, and that's how they mark their tally points on the timbers. All those dots.
Oh, wow.
So, and then, of course, they have miners graffiti where they draw pictures and dates and stuff like that. That's how they did it. And a lot of them would light the safety fuse for their charges with it, too. They're not supposed to, but they use that because it's convenient.
Right. Hey.
So,
it
came in handy. Now they use a thing that looks like a sparkler. At least they did. Now they use non-Ls. They don't even use safety fuse anymore.
Right. Times are changing. That's craziness, though.
Yeah.
What's this I heard that somebody found the treasure?
Treasure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. One of our premium patrons located it. It wasn't hard to find. It was actually right outside of Virginia City.
Really?
And it was full of silver Morgans, and we threw a bunch of silver bars in there too.
Mhm.
And we had some folks looking for months for that thing, couldn't find it. He bought a map, and he drove down from Montana with his brother,
Right.
and 2 days they figured out the clues and found it. I
Really?
couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I said, "You got to be kidding me!" And he goes, "No." I thought at first he was pulling my leg. So he sent me photographs and a video. I'm like, "Son of a! Oh, how did you find that thing so fast?" And he says, "The hard part was getting it down off the mountain. Thing weighed a ton."
Oh, really?
I bet. I bet
I
he
said,
made
"How do you think I felt? It took me 2 days to get it up there." It did. I had to stay in Carson, make 2 trips up the mountain. It was so darn heavy.
Oh man. So now you're gonna have to make the next one tougher, right?
We're already planning next year, so I've already got the. Matter of fact, look at this.
See what you got.
We're getting ready for the next one. So we got another box ready. This is a Pony Express box.
That's pretty cool.
The exact same one, and of course we got to fill it up with silver Morgans. Just by itself, it's heavy.
I was gonna say, you sure it ain't full?
Where do you get those Pony Express boxes?
Those are cool.
Oh, we have them made and they send them to us.
Those are neat.
So they come in 2 different sizes. This one and then a really big one. I'm like, no, that thing would. I'd go broke trying to fill that one up.
I tell you what, you had a guy to figure that out in 2 days, Jeff. You better make this one a lot harder.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull a 4 spin.
Oh no.
So,
Yeah.
no, actually, we know how we're going to hide this next one, because the first one, because we've had treasure hunts before. The first one was easier than this one. This one was a little harder because you have to really scale the side of a mountain to get up to where it was. Right. And then the next one's going to be even harder. I can't let the cat out of the bag, but yeah, you're going to really have to be in physical top shape to get to this next one. And of course, it'll have more inside. I want to put some more silver bars. I love those silver bars.
Mm-hmm.
So cram some more in there.
What was some of the clues on the last one? Was it like looking at the side of the mountain, looking for something to have them in that area, or?
Well, the way that it worked is we had verbal clues to get you within, I'd say, a quarter mile of it, and then you get the map, and the map shows you that quarter mile.
Mm-hmm.
So on the map, there's like little red dots that take you to an X. Of course, that's not where the treasure is. And then there's a whole bunch of numbers and symbols on the map, and some geometry on there that you have to try to figure out. Mm-hmm. And if you're smart enough, and of course we hide stuff in there that's camouflaged and that you have to use black lights to try to find. But if you're smart enough and you put all the clues together, it'll lead you right to the treasure. And that's what this gentleman did. He watched how the other guy found it. So he broke out his black light, and there was extra clues there that you didn't see without the black light. So then he put those clues together, and he's ex-army like I am, and he said he used to do map reading all the time, and so he started noticing certain things were they were too conveniently lined up. Mm-hmm. And so he started looking at those closely and taking measurements and reading. If you read through the verbal clues again, there's a few clues that are locked in there that help decipher what the little symbols are. So you have to work both of them at the same time. Now that was the problem most people made, is they read the clues and they thought, oh, well, now that I'm here, I just try to look for it around where because we buried Arch Stanton out there, because it was themed around the good and the bad, the ugly. So we had the unknown grave and Arch Stanton. And so once you got out to Arch Stanton's grave, that's actually where everything starts. Well, a lot of people read the clues, and the clues said the treasure's buried near the arch. So they were looking around Arch Stanton's grave. But if you follow the clues high up on the mountain, there's a small arch way up there, and you got to climb the side of the mountain to get up there. And then there's a bird's nest, and then under the bird's nest, in a small hollow, is where it was buried. Yeah. So these gentlemen, they really had to work their hiney to get that shiny. And I had so many people say, you know how many times I walked by that and thought about going up there, but I didn't. I said, well, you should have known I was going to make this one harder.
And they're just going to keep getting harder.
Yep, we're going to keep getting harder and getting richer.
Yeah.
So
if somebody
he was extremely happy with that payoff.
Oh,
And he told me, he said, he wrote me an email and said, you know what, Jeff, I'll be honest. I actually saw that little cliff and I thought there's no way he could have got up there with that treasure. And his brother, who was with him, said, you know, I think you should go up there and check with your metal detector. And he says, yeah, I already did. And he goes, no, I'm right here. I saw you. You didn't go up there. Get up there and check it. And he goes, I don't think he would have climbed up there. It's too steep and the treasure's too heavy.
Right.
So just to pacify his brother, he climbed up there and swung it around the backside of that pocket, and the detector went off, and they knew they were on it.
Oh, so, that is cool, though.
Yeah, they had a good time. I love that they shot video of the whole thing. And I tell all the people who sign up, make sure you take lots of pictures and take video in case you find it. I want to see that.
Yeah. I mean,
so
sweet 2 days.
2 days, and I had one couple up there. I'd say add all the time together, they were there for about maybe 5, maybe 6 months looking.
Wow.
Yeah, every weekend.
On your site, right, Jeff?
Do what?
This video is on your site then?
Yeah, it's on the Patreon site. I was gonna make it live, but Slim told me just to keep it on the Patreon site.
You know, it'd be really cool if you had your patrons, Jeff, when they go hunt and they're making video, even the ones that didn't find it, have them send the video in. You could implement that into parts of, everybody.
Yeah, I thought about that. Just the clips that they send in.
Yep. Yeah.
So I might do that because I still have it.
That'd be neat.
And of course, I couldn't do it during the hunt because it would give away the location.
Right. But now it's over.
That would be really cool just to see different videos of different people looking for them, and then you got the one that actually found it. That'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. That's a good idea.
So,
but they had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun too, watching them try to find it, pulling their hair out.
Well, yeah.
So what we did just to have fun with them is the entire area. We went around Virginia City and we picked up large scraps of metal from all around the old mines. And then we went around and buried that all over the place just to drive them crazy.
That's what we
and to sweeten the deal, we went down to the Donovan Mill and we met the owners of it, which is in Silver City, right down the hill by Gold Hill.
Right.
And they had, I don't know, they must have about 20, 30, 40 tons of ore that was never processed. And they gave me a couple bags. And I made a video about that. And I decided, instead of keeping those bags, I'm just going to hide them with the treasure. So I hid them in the area, not with the treasure. And they found that too. And so now they got bags of ore from the 1880s that was never processed.
Oh, wow.
So there could be some nice specimen gold or electrum in there from the 1880s. What they did is when they were renovating the mill, the Donovan Mill, one of the ore bins was still loaded that never got processed because the cam that was for the stamp mill broke, and it had sat in there ever since. And then they abandoned the mill for whatever reason, and they came in, renovated it, took the ore out, sacked it up into the sandbag sacks. I made a video on it, and they gave me a pick of the litter. So I said, yeah, I'll take a couple bags.
That's cool.
So,
nice.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
That was like a little bonus they got.
Oh, yeah, they were super happy about that.
I bet. Man, so you got a timeline on when you're thinking for the next one?
I'm thinking somewhere around February or March, we're gonna start putting it out there, start promoting it. Right now we're in the, because people have no idea how much work goes into putting one of these together, because it's not about just hiding the treasure and the clues, but you got to have, you got to make sure the land that you're playing with, that you can legally do what you're doing.
Right.
And so you got to find land that is available for that. And then you got to make it so it's somewhat accessible by vehicle. You can't make it, 20-mile hike in and out. That would be insane. Yeah. You got to put all this stuff together. It's got to be close to a city that has an airport so people can fly in. And there's got to be hotels or motels in the area so they can camp out. You don't want them stranded in the middle of the desert and they die.
Well, where's the fun in it?
Yeah, well, I don't want, I like to sleep at night. My consciousness needs to be clear when I sleep. So I want them to at least have a leg up on this. Right. And of course they have to sign a waiver before they go hunting too, in case they fall and die. So
I mean, I think everybody should stay out in the desert one time and hear a bobcat or a mountain lion.
Or even a pack of coyotes.
Yeah, right.
If you ain't never heard that, that is actually something to hear. And it'll actually wake you up in the middle of the night too.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking about that, but like I said, it's hard because some of these guys come out, bring their their wives and their children with them, and I can't say this one's for kids and this one's for adults. It's like, so right. I got to find a happy medium. So that's why I try to pick it close to these old towns, so the wife and kids can stay there and the husbands can go trotting off, but not too far. Right. And I don't want the road to be so hazardous that they get bottom out and get stuck in the middle of nowhere. So, and there's got to be cell phone reception out there in case something does happen. They get bit by a snake or something. Right. So you got to have all this stuff in your mind when you're putting one of these together. At least I do. Right. And then of course you have to have special clues. You just can't pick any certain spot of the desert or the hillside. It has to have special meaning to it. And when you get the map and the clues, it all ties in with Virginia City. And so it all makes sense when you're like, oh yeah, that fits. And of course the silver coins ties in with the silver mint that's in Carson City.
Yeah. Is there going to be any gold in this one?
There might be, but it'll have to. I'm gonna have to wait because the gold's going up. So I might be only put one bar in there and the rest be silver. So
silver's going up too, right?
Yeah, silver's going up. This last treasure, man, I tell you, he can retire on that box.
Dang. When you hit it, it wasn't worth maybe 14 an ounce, and now then it went up to like 25. So
exactly.
Pretty nice.
Yep. And we didn't go through all the Morgans, and I told them check them because some of them might be special. Right. And you might have a certain date on there that makes them more valuable than just face value of silver. Or
did you get them mortgaged from the bank, or did you just like have them through years of collecting them up, or what?
No, my pops collected them for years, and so I told him, I says, I want to. Can I have some of your coins? I'll give you face value or whatever you want for them, and then we're gonna have a treasure hunt. Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, sure, you can have them. He's got tons of them. So he just, he hands me a couple bags. Matter of fact, I got the bags in here in the cabin. They're the old canvas bank bags.
Right. That's cool.
So, I give him, a check, and he gives me a bag of coins.
That's awesome, though.
He says, well, before you take that bag, let me make sure that check don't bounce. Well, you can trust me. Come on now. I'm a gold miner. A gold digger.
Yeah. So where have you been digging lately? You open any new mines up, or?
Well, we got the drift mine. Mm-hmm. And we work on that, and that we punch through into some older diggings. That seems to be preoccupying our time a lot. Right. We wanted to go through everything and document what we found in the bottom, just in case there was some old stuff in there. And we found gold in there, and it's going to be a challenge to open that darn thing up. I figure that since now that we know where it comes out, we're just going to widen it out and timber it, and then use that as the main shaft, and then connect the drift to it, and then turn that into a haulage drift. Right. So I figured it would be a lot easier because right now there's just so much drift tunnel to deal with. It would be too much work to pull the stuff out and run it up into where we connected, and then run it all the way back to our haulage shaft, which is kind of small. And I thought if I ever get a chance, I'm going to sink a bigger shaft. And now I have the opportunity, so I can put in a full size shaft to haul this stuff up, because it's just too much work doing 5-gallon buckets. Sure. Yeah. Way too much work. I mean, we must have, in the course of the mine's life, pulled out 50,000, 60,000 buckets easy. So we want a full-size skip to pull stuff out, and then start putting it in a truck and then hauling that to the wash plant, because I'm tired of this. It's just too much work.
Working too hard.
It is. It's a lot of work on your belly, digging all day, scooping it into 5-gallon buckets, getting it on that little skip car, running it up to the surface.
Yeah.
Man, it'll definitely test your metal.
You gotta love buckets.
I hate buckets. I'm tired of looking at buckets. And I've it's funny. I've gone through every kind of bucket you can imagine. I've tried to come up with ideas to reinforce them, and finally we found one bucket at Home Depot. It's a green bucket. It glows in the dark, and it's really super strong. And so far that one's been holding up. So I must have about 1 billion buckets laying around that we just tore up. And I tell you what, I'm sick of looking at buckets. I want something full size. I want a mucking machine in there, an MCO 12B.
Yeah.
I want some track in there. I'm tired of this laying on my belly all the time. So it's hard on your knees and your back.
Yeah.
And I get people, why don't you make that thing big enough to stand up in? Because I don't have equipment that can support that.
Right. See.
So, well, I'm going to work on that right now.
You know what? That answers the question of the old question. How come all the miners are always bent over?
Yeah, now you know why.
They
And
only
they
dug the
also
hole big
realize
enough.
that in order to stand up, at least for me, I'm only 5 foot, so it won't be much. But for a full-size guy, that is a lot of material to muck out. I mean, people don't realize how much, if I was to drift 5 feet in a day and be able to stand up 5 foot, and then the drift is maybe 4 foot wide, 3.5, 4 foot wide, that right there is several tons of muck right there, just to go that far. And people don't realize that. And they're like, oh, just make the darn thing taller. Yeah, I'll be in there all day. I want to get to the gold and make sure I'm on it. I'll dig these tiny little coyote holes and then see if I'm in the right direction. I'm not going to, hey, let's build it big enough to drive a truck in. No. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to create a full-size shaft. I'm tired of this.
I'd love for you to find that river. There's actually supposed to be a real river that.
Yeah. So we're hoping we're tying into it like a side tributary. We've got the fossils. We've got the channels that have the gravel and the red and the black sands, and of course the gold. And we're not far from where Mr. Dorr made that significant find. So we're hoping we can tie in with that.
That'd be nice.
If you know anything about the story.
That'd be nice.
Well, actually, yes and no. It's a double-edged sword. Because, no, come on now. Because if you find it and people know that you found it, you're going to have everybody and their uncle and their lawyer coming out of the woods and saying, oh, if that is Dorr's River, it belongs to this guy, who I do know who the owner is personally, who owns that mountain, Carbonate Mountain, that has the Dorr mine on it, and it has cocoa leaf entrance and all that stuff. But I think if we found it, we'd probably be real quiet about it.
Right.
Just to be safe about it. Because I tell you what, gold does funny things to people, and I've seen it. So if you start, if I disappear off of YouTube for whatever reason, now you know why. He must have found it because I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah. Ain't been around. So you just crawl around in your belly digging them holes, Jeff?
Yep. On my belly or on my knees, either way. I'm using hammer drills, every size hammer drill you can imagine. We've got jackhammers in there to break up the heavier stuff. Because sometimes the caliche beds come in sheeted. They're sheeted like sheeted veins of caliche, and then there's sand and clay seams in between them. That's why it's so hard to blast it, because all the energy is redirected into those soft clay seams.
Right.
And you talk to anybody that it's really hard blasting caliche. So we go in there with jackhammers and break it up. And the slabs that come out are too big to put in a 5-gallon bucket and haul up the shaft. So you got to break them down into smaller pieces. So we use the jackhammers for that, to break them up. And then we got to check them to make sure there's no conglomerate attached to them, because that's where the gold is. You got the conglomerate and the red clays that are all attached into this one seam. And the geology down there is fantastic. You start looking at some of the different layers down there, and you can actually go back in time when there used to be an inland sea here in the state, and it's really neat to see all the different fossils down on the bottom, and then you got all the different clay seams that have all the crystals, the gypsum crystals growing in it and precipitating out, and forming. And I'm waiting to actually run into like maybe a buried UFO or something like that. So I think that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Or maybe even some dinosaur bones. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what, for our young listeners out there and stuff like that, like your geology experience is really, you got me like 1,000 times over. But were you always into geology, or is it just something when you started finding gold, you actually went into geology and like studied and just crammed yourself full of knowledge, or was it, or was it just always that way?
No, it was actually the latter of what you said. My dad got me into it when I was 10, like I said, and I thought, this is a lot of fun, and I was all right at finding gold, but he's like, you know what, son, if you're gonna do this, go to school and get an education, learn this stuff. Don't half-ass it. And he said, I really think you could go far because you got the passion for it. So, oh, good, it started up. So I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to learn everything I can because geology is the key. It's not everything, but it definitely adds another dimension to this whole puzzle of finding the gold. And then you start understanding I tell people, if you want to understand placer, you have to understand hard rock. And geology is one of the founding principles of hard rock. You have to understand the deposition models that are involved, especially in the area that you're at. And that will tell you a lot about the placer that would have come from that. And I personally like hard rock because I think there's more involved with it as far as what you can find and the potential of finding a rich payoff. Because there's a lot of untapped seams and veins and reefs that are still in the ground. And if I tell people, if you don't believe me, look at what they found in Australia just recently.
Oh, yeah, right.
They in this one reef, they pulled out untold amount of gold, and they're stacking it on pallets. It was so big. And I tell them it's still in the ground. And if you understand geology, you know that the gold deposits to this day are still forming. They don't stop. I know that they take a long period of time, but some of them are reaching that one particular stage of precipitation that you might be lucky enough to stumble upon when you're out there looking, or maybe there's wildfires that burned off enough vegetation, you see an outcropping, and then you start getting into it and you find that there's huge amounts of gold, or maybe you walked over a gossan before and never knew what a gossan was, and then you go back and do soil samples around it and find out it's 2 to 5 ounce per ton. I mean, so I tell people, if you really want the good gold, you have to understand hard rock. You have to understand geology. It's not going to give you everything, but it's going to give you a lot of information that you wouldn't know normally. And there's a little bit of luck involved because there's been deposits I found just walking around and just happened to see it. I wasn't looking for it, but I just happened to see it. And one of our richest deposits was made from a road cut. They had a dozer go in there, and they were clearing out a road for a power line around these gold mining district, and they cut in to this very rich lens of limonite. And with my geology, I knew what it was just looking at it from across the ridge. I had my binoculars, and I was checking it out, and it stood out like a sore thumb. You'd be amazed at how many people drove by that thing thinking it was just a nasty red eyeball-looking thing in the side of the hill. Well, I knew what it was. So I ran over and I pulled samples. And it was extremely rich. And so first thing I did is I went and checked the land status to make sure somebody wasn't private property or something like that. And then when I found out that it was just open BLM land, oh man, I tell you what, I couldn't sleep that night. Next day we loaded up the truck and I got everything I had. We made videos of it too, just to show people what it looked like. The video's called Rich Gold and Red Dirt. It's one of our first earlier videos. And I'm using a gas-powered rock drill to try to get this beautiful limonite out. And the gold
I remember that.
Yeah. And that one section right there produced, I'd say, about 3.5 ounces of gold in that little tiny lens, and it punched through into some older workings in the mine, and we started just honing out the edges of where they finished, and we still pulled out tons of gold. It was right up along the contact zones of the dolomite. So you've got granitic intrusions right up against the limestone, the dolomite, and then you have metasomatism, which is creating those bedding planes right up against there, and you have bog iron, then you have the limonite, and inside the limonite is where the gold is.
Now, is there possible chances for other pockets like that on that claim?
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that you can have pinch and swells, and you can have isolated pockets and lenses that are just out with no reason at all, no rhyme or reason. And we found next to that, we found a sill, and it had a lot of rich gold in it, not as rich as this other one. So we read a backstory on it, an old geological report, USGS report, and it said, look for where the vein structures or the lenses flatten out. That's where they're rich. And there's going to be green talc on the outer edge of those lenses, and that's going to be extremely rich. And they were right. And so we must have punched 100 holes in that. And a lot of the intrusion there, the granitic intrusion, it's decomposing. It's like saprolite now, and you can dig at it with your finger. And so we just basically push it all aside until we start hitting anything that changes color from like a grayish yellow into an orange. When we start seeing orange, we know it's going to bleed into red. When it bleeds into red, we got a lens.
Man, that's cool.
Well, I mean, did you actually go to like school for geology?
Yeah, Mackey School of Mines up in Reno.
Okay, so so you actually went to school. Now, for like people that just want to do stuff online, is there any kind of, say classes or some kind of special teachings people can get online to get a?
I haven't seen anything that really stands out that I like. I tell people, first of all, because everybody's location is different. Of course, geology changes across the country. I tell them there's books that you can read called Roadside Geology. Go to roadsidegeology.com. They'll have books that are specifically designated for your state, and they'll teach you the basics. And that will give you the understandings to start looking at USGS reports. And then that way and the reason why I'm saying that is because, trust me, I've been through a million geology classes, and it is so easy to get burned out and bored, because every word ends in "ite," and you get tired of it. And it's like, I just need to know what rocks point me to the gold. I know, I understand all this, I got to understand Precambrian rocks, and I just want to know what I need to know. So I feel that people, if they go to a regular geology class or online studies, they're going to get bored really fast. So I tell them, first of all, find out what the geology is in the area that you're hunting. Roadside geology books will do that. Then you got to look up the USGS reports, and then that information from those books will give you the knowledge of the terminology they're going to use in the reports. Because I guarantee you read a USGS report and you don't know what they're saying, it's going to be like a different language. Right. And you're going to go, I have no idea what they're talking about, let alone what these rocks look like and what the meaning is with the association or the type of deposition model they're talking about. Right. So, and this is extremely important. And I stress that a lot as far as deposition models, is because you're going to see where models duplicate themselves in different geological settings. So I've seen areas like outside of Pioche, on the backside of Highland Peak, that those particular deposition models, they match what's going on over in Delmar. The gold is inside quartzite, and you have to understand why it's in quartzite and how it got there to understand what you're looking for. So with that information, it was a no-brainer to find gold deposits there. They're not groundbreaking or anything, but they are there.
Right.
So, gotcha. No, Jeff, I got a question from the chat room. This is from Why Gold. He wants
keep going.
Wants to know, is your drift mine considered a placer mine?
I knew it. Is it a placer mine or a load mine?
And what process to file a claim such as Jeff's drift mine? Also wanted to know about the Tommy knockers? Are they real or not?
They want to know about the Tommy knockers.
Yeah.
Real or
Everybody
not?
wants to know about Tommy knockers. All right, we'll start with the first question.
All right.
That mine is considered a drift mine. It's the same type of strategy that they used in Alaska. They would have to burrow their way through 40 feet of permafrost to get down to the bedrock and find that little tiny ribbon of gold. And that's basically what we're doing. We've burrowed our way through 40 feet of caliche to get down to the solid impermeable caliche, which is like bedrock. It's an artificial bedrock, but it feels like solid rock, and all the gold is resting on top of that. So it's classified as a placer mine, and that's how it's filed under, as a placer mine. So I think that answers that question. I've had that question a million times. The second question, the Tommy knockers. I'm going to tell you now, there's a lot of people out there that argue with me, and I don't care. They can argue all day long. First of all, talk to anybody who's done hard rock mining or underground mining for any length of time, and they'll tell you that there are forces at work down there that you don't know what they are, but for lack of a better term, we call them Tommy knockers. Mm-hmm. And these things do exist, and they do play games on you. Huh?
Scary?
They can be scary if you piss them off. And I've seen things down there that, I kid you not, things that shouldn't happen do happen, to the point where I'm about ready just to pull my hair out and scream, because I can't believe it's like having an army of little people mess with you while you're trying to do your job. Like your tools are moved, or your extension cord is wrapped up around your feet, and or your glasses are moved to where they're right under your knees, so when you move, you break them. Things like that. And it's like, this can't possibly be happening, but it does happen. So you got to step back, take a breath. And what I usually do is I sounds corny, but I try to talk to them and tell them, look, what do you want from me? I'll get whatever you want. Just, work with me on this, because I can't do my job and have to worry about you guys at the same time. And you get a feeling for this stuff after a number of years underground. At first, you don't really think much of it. You think it's just coincidental. But after a while, I'd say about 2 years, you get an appreciation for it. Now, what we found in the new older workings, I don't know what that is. Some people say it was the reflection of my camera. Other people say that maybe there's something down there. I broke through, almost broke my neck falling through. So I'm thank God I didn't break my neck, and thank God I didn't get impaled, because there's a whole bunch of wood sticking up, like a bunch of Chinese spikes, and it's just old timber that's been sitting there forever and a day. And then there's sharp pieces of metal, and there's this old, I don't know what it is. It looks like, I thought it was a fence at first, but it looks like an old classifier out of this really beefy type of mesh, square mesh. And there's broken glass down there, all kinds of stuff. So
how deep is that hole that timber was?
It looks like we did measurements from where we're at and where the surface is at, and it's about 35 feet, 30 to 35 feet. So
hurt.
Well, yeah, I feel sorry for anybody who was walking on the surface and fall through that and then fall all the way down, because it would shish kebab them, guaranteed. And we looked at a lot of the stuff. They got the ventilation pipe is still up. They have this really crude looking ladder that they had. They've got it turned in such a way that they were using a skip bucket on the ladder. So they're using the ladder as rails of some kind. And then there's a cable that they were using to pull up the it looks like a kerosene can that they refurbished to make like a hoisting bucket to run up and down the ladder. And then there's a mesh. It looks like an old bed or something that they threw down in there. And there's some glass and cans and all kinds of weird stuff down there. And so we're trying to figure out if it keeps going beyond where we're at, if that's just the first level. So we're digging around for a false floor, and we haven't hit anything yet. But right now I'm documenting what we're finding, and there's some really interesting stuff down there. We found like a bowl with a plate, an old plate, and so we're looking at the dates and the writing on the back of that. And there's some old cans down there. Some of them I don't know what they are. Other ones look like the old sardine cans. Oh, there was a can down there that it looked like the type that you have the snuff in. It's a really thin little like plate can about this big, and you open it up. And I remember I saw one in a movie. They take these little snuff things and they stick it in their nose and sniff it.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's in perfect shape.
Is that Prince Albert in a can?
No, that's a tobacco can. We didn't find any of those.
Oh.
A Prince Albert can.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Prince Albert in a can.
Oh yeah, we got tons of them.
That was a pretty good condition.
Yeah, I think it still has tobacco. It still has the seal on the top too. I don't know if you can see that, the blue seal.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, you'd be amazed. So yeah, this is a flat tin. It's only about yay thick, and it opens up. I didn't know what it was at first, and so we looked at it for a while, and I says, well, the only thing I can think of is those sniff cans you see once in a while in the old movies where they open this little flat tin up and they stick something in their nose and sniff it in, and it's like tobacco that you sniff in or something like that.
Yeah, it's ground up really fine.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Now, what about the worm people?
Huh?
What about
The worm people? You better be careful about the worm people. They'll get you. I don't mess with the worm people. Those are the ones that live in that darn cave system. I tell you what, that we've got that thing sealed up right now, just in case they try to come out. So, yeah, well, there's that's on the other side of the drift mine, and we went ahead and sealed it up for now. So everybody wants us to go in there. I almost got stuck in there. We shot a video in there, and I was going in there, and I was trying to push through, and a little like round. It's not a stalagmite, but it's a piece of the floor was stuck up, and it caught me right in my belly on my belt, and I couldn't back up because it got me in the rib cage. Yeah, I started getting a little nervous. So I'm like, you know what? For now, let's seal this up, and we're gonna keep working on the other drift, and that's when we punch through.
And when you seal it up, Jeff, what do you do to boards?
Oh, no, we're just using rocks and stuff, anything we can just to block it in.
Gotcha.
So it's really kind of spooky. It's a little eerie down there. It's a little unnerving is a good way to put it.
Is there? I mean, it's that. I mean, is that where you heard a lot of the noises and?
Yep, that's the noises, and that's where the fossils are too.
Because remember back in the old days to fight them Tommy knockers, they left the last bite of their lunch sitting on a rock somewhere.
Yep. Actually, I had an old timer write in and say, Jeff, you need to give them. It's a special kind of bread that you give them, and you leave it on the rock, and then they're supposed to be happy with that. I brought down a whole loaf of white bread. They didn't like that. So, well, because I forgot the name of it. It's a special kind of bread that they like. The Cornish people used to make it all the time to take it down to them. And I thought, well, heck, bread is bread. I'll just go get me some Wonder Bread, and I'll take the crust off because nobody wants the crust, and I'll roll it up into a ball and throw that on there. They didn't like that. So,
No.
so it turned green. I think it's still down there somewhere.
Jeff, I think I was watching that one video, and correct me if I'm wrong or not, but I think you guys shoved a rod back in. And the
that's where you were first
hold that rod and pull it back.
Yeah. I can't remember the video name of that, but yeah, we were getting close and we kept hearing some thumping. So we punched the rod, and it's a piece of all thread that has a threaded end on it. We use it to hold the sets together. Mm-hmm. And so I pounded through because I'm thinking, well, I know we're close to something. And sure enough, it went through. I had my channel locks on the end of it so I could get it back out. Yeah. Darn thing started spinning on me, freaked me out. I was like, you guys, huh?
It pulled your rod in, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to pull me in.
Wow.
I'm like, what the heck? We found it when we punched through eventually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was down on the bottom, at the very bottom. And I know nobody had been in there for like, I don't know, a good maybe 100 years because the top has been sealed up forever. There's about 3-4 feet of overburden that somebody shoveled on top to keep people out. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they did that. I'm glad nobody fell in it though.
Yeah.
And we thought maybe it was when we found it, it looks like maybe where a toilet, an outhouse used to sit. So we didn't think nothing of it. It's just a little depression.
Mhm.
And there's a little bit of dirt, like a berm around the outer edge. And when we first saw it, when we first started prospecting the area, I thought, this is probably where an outhouse was. Didn't think nothing of it. Well, then when we took a compass down there and we measured the distance and then used the compass to determine the direction, went back up on the surface and then started pacing it out with the compass, and there was that darn depression. I'm like, I'll bet you this is where the top of the shaft is, right here. So we took our metal detectors, and sure enough, we could hear that metal underneath there, that corrugated sheet metal that somebody had used to cover it up, and then they threw dirt on top of that.
Oh.
So you stomp on that, you'll fall right through. I guarantee it.
Now, speaking of metal detectors, now I know you swing several different types of metal detectors.
Hey, my door don't swing that way. Hold on.
What's your favorite detector to use now?
Well, I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me, but right now I'm on the fence. I like both the Gold Monster 1000 and, of course, my tried and true tested one right here, the old, if I can get it down, Gold Bug 2 right here.
Gold Bug, yeah.
Now, I tell people, get over there. I like the Gold Monster 1000. It does a phenomenal job. For hard rock mines, for checking for outcroppings or any type of specimen gold, I love that Gold Bug 2 because it operates at 71 kilohertz, which is a very high frequency, and it finds that really, really super tiny gold. But what I like about the 1000, when I'm out in, like, say, Arizona, where the soil is highly mineralized, that darn thing, it does really good on the soil, especially if I'm using that small, tiny 5-inch coil on there. And I love that it's got the meter on it. Now, I'm not saying the meter is 100% foolproof, but I found a lot of gold in some old dry washer piles just looking at that meter, because I've made a lot of videos on how that works with the wally pop. Yeah, the wobble pop. And I'm not kidding, it works. It'll go to the left and then it'll wobble back over to the other side. When I see that, I know it's gold. And 90% of the time it is gold. And I've actually was impressed with it. I really was. So for up on the surface, I'm going to take the 1000. For the hard rock mines, I'm taking the Gold Bug 2.
Nice.
Now, see, I still run a Gold Bug 1.
Oh, wow. That's an older model. That's
they're really good. They're really just easy.
That's real simple. A lot of people don't like the Gold Bug 2 because you got to manually balance it, ground balance it, and you got to stay on it. And people they don't like that because they want to just turn key and get on it and go. And that one, if the soil changes or your composition changes or any of that, you got to stay on top of it. And a lot of people, they forget about it.
See, that's what I started swinging. I started swinging the Gold Bug 2 for years, and that's even before I started watching your videos. When you were doing them, and then ever since I got to that Gold Monster, man, I tell you what, that's the bee's knees.
Yep, that's the bee's knees. I tell you what, I like the little tiny round 5-inch coil on it. I can pinpoint stuff like nobody's business with it. I love watching that meter. It's easy to set up. I mean, it's a dream. It's like night and day. So a lot of people have been upset because they're like, hey, you used to be a Gold Bug guy, and what's up? I bought a Gold Bug because of you. Now you're telling me a monster. I says, well, the technology's changed. If something comes out, I'm not going to lie and say I'm going to stick with this just because I've always been with it. I'm going to tell you the truth.
Right.
And I like the Gold Monster 1000. It impressed me. It really did. And we went over some header piles out in Arizona. Darn thing picked up gold out of those header piles. And I know I've been over those header piles before, and I couldn't find nothing. But with that thing, got the wobble pop. Matter of fact, we brought a guy from Canada. We brought him out and took him on our claims, and we made a video about it. That was Pioneer Paulie that we brought out.
Yeah.
And so I set him up with a Gold Monster 1000, and he was finding gold like nobody's business. And so while he was doing that, I took another one and started playing, because they were filming and doing their own thing. And I started hitting these header piles that were all over the place. And so I raked them down with my foot and was just playing with them. And I kid you not, I started finding gold like it was nobody's business. At first, I'm like, no, there's no way that people could have missed this. But it picked it up. And that's when I started, learning about that wobble pop. You watch it enough, and you can really tell when it's going to be a piece of gold versus ironstone or a hot rock or cold rock, something like that.
Well,
So,
see, I remember in one of your videos, you had a bunch of tailings or something you brought back to your house, and you were talking, and you said something about, you were using your fishers. You said, well, we'll just take the gold monster, and you found a nugget or something out of it, or something.
Yeah, we found some specimen gold out of there, and man, I got a lot of flack over that video because they said, oh, you didn't have it set up right, or you didn't give it a fair shake, or this and that. And I said, no, I did everything right, and that monster picked it up like it was nobody's business. And I was having a hard time with the gold bug too. And I had it set up. I mean, it's not my first rodeo.
Right.
So I couldn't find, I had a weak target, but it was nothing compared to what the Gold Monster 1000 was doing. And I was really shocked and amazed that because this thing has such a high operating range, I thought it'd be no problem to find it. But it for some reason, I don't know if it was the matrix that the gold was locked up in was masking it, or if it was just on its edge, because sometimes your specimens can be, like sheeted veins, and they're very thin on one edge, like a knife blade. I don't know, but it couldn't see it very well. But the monster up there had no problem.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah. So I've been pushing the monster lately, and I don't get a commission for it.
Right.
I tell people that's just my honest opinion, is I'm really swaying to that monster. Now, I still like my gold bug too in the hard rock mines, because I know how it performs and I know how to set it up down there. But up on the surface, nope, taking my 1000. So
we got to adapt to the ground we're digging. That's the way it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if a better technology comes out, well, then that's what I'm going to try it, field test it, and if it does work, that's what I'm going with. Yeah. So, and I can't just stick with a machine because I've been with it for so long. That'd be silly, because the technology is evolving, and you got to evolve with it.
That's it.
It's going to keep evolving. So that's the thing. Now, you speaking of videos, Jeff, do you get a lot of flack in your videos from people?
Well, yeah, I get my usual haters.
Yeah.
I've been called every name in the book.
Oh,
and some of them I didn't think was possible. And then I get the hate mail, and I get the usual. But I look at it as, hey, if you watch the video and you comment, at least I'm getting credit for it.
right.
So I was going to say, you win. If they watch it, they comment, you won.
Yep, they watched it and they commented. You can talk bad all day long. I don't care. I just got credit for it.
I can't see people hating on you, Jeff.
There's people that hate just because they love hating.
Yeah, you're right.
Haters will hate, I tell you, no matter what.
Yeah.
So I tell people, I look at it positively and say, if I'm getting a lot of haters, that means the video's doing good because it's getting a lot of traction.
Yeah, it's all views, right?
It's all good. Some people get mad and try to comment and fight these people, and I'm like, you're wasting your time, man.
Oh, God, yeah.
Me, I just skate on by and like, hey, you know what? If you want to hate, that's great. I got bigger fish to fry. If you like the video, some guys says, why do you got to talk like an imbecile? Why do you got to talk like you're some hillbilly redneck? And I said, well, that's because I am.
All right.
Oh man. I said, come on, man, you're gonna hate on me because of the way I talk? Really? I showed you how to find gold, and that's all you got out of the video? Was how I talk? Wow.
Where are you originally from, Jeff?
Huh?
Where are you originally from?
Well, originally, you should know that my profile by now. I'm originally born here in Nevada. Okay. But I've been around the country. I served in the Army for a number of years. I was in Louisiana and Alabama for quite some time. And I picked up a whole lot while I was there. I picked up a banjo too while I was there. And I was stationed out in Louisiana and Alabama and for a number of years. And they got the nastiest red clay I ever saw. There's actually a place I was stationed at was called Redstone Arsenal. It's in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
So right outside of Montgomery, and then I was at Fort McClellan too.
Yeah,
It's the nastiest soil I ever saw.
Georgia's got that same nasty red stuff too, but you get it on you, it don't come off.
Oh, it don't come off. We get our APC stuck in that with no problem. So anyway, so I picked up a lot of my nuances from that. And I had a lot of first sergeants that were, heavy from the South. And so I picked up a lot of their lingo, and it just kind of stuck. And yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. And some people don't like it, but I don't really care. That's for them. If they want to hate, go ahead. I'm having fun.
That's right. That's all that matters. We're having fun.
That's right.
That's why they hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think unhappy people don't like to see people happy.
No, it doesn't work right for them.
Right. Yeah.
No, it rubs them the wrong way.
No, there was a question earlier in the chat room. I'm trying to find it now. I think it was from Terry Curry. They asked if there was any documented deaths in that mines that you work in that you're aware of.
Documented deaths. Oh, in the mine that we're in now?
They didn't specify, but that's just.
I've got a ton of mines. I'm sure that there's been people documented in some of them, because we got a few hard rock mines under our belt that they're pretty big, and I'm sure there have been people who've passed away in them. But if he's talking about the drift mine, there's no way to know about that. These things are so small, they don't document these things. It wasn't even on the map when we were in the area. I didn't even. If I had known that, we would have sunk the shaft right there. It would have saved me a ton of digging. Are you kidding me?
Other mines. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well, heck, if I would have known that was there, why would I sink my own shaft? I'd just open that munker up and frame it.
There you go. So you still doing all the timbering and stuff too?
Yep. Still doing the timbering. All the timber work. Like I said, we want to open this one up, widen it out, make it a full size. I mean, not full size like you're thinking a commercial.
No, right.
But big enough to where we can have a skip run up and down it and have a manway in it, and use some decent timber, maybe some, huh?
What does a man weigh?
How do you tune a fish? So, yeah. So we'll probably use some 6x6 timbers in there. It doesn't have to get too crazy. If we go deep enough, we can always step up to 8x8s. But 6x6 should handle the job. And just use some 2x6 and 2x8s for lagging. Call it a day.
It's a job there too, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge job. And it's a fortune in timbering. I mean, the timbering we used in the drift mine already is up in the thousands easy.
Wow.
And I'm not complaining because it saved my life, but it's slow going. You got to get the timber in there. You got to match everything up. You got to measure before you do that, and make sure that it lines up with what kind of work that you're doing. Like when we put the incline in, everything had to be cut at an angle, and it has to fit. And then, of course, you have to bolt your sets together if you're on an incline, because if not, the sets will fall apart. Because the sets are only held in there with pressure. That's it.
So where'd you learn how to do that?
I had old timers teach me how to do timbering.
Really?
I had two of them. One of them was a man by the name of Larry Kennedy. Oh my God, the man was a genius. He's passed away a long time ago. And before he did, he saw that I was interested in all this stuff, and he took me under his wing. And he showed me, first he showed me silver mining, which I didn't care for. And I'm like, the silver don't do nothing for me. He's like, yeah, but you have to learn this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he taught me silver mining. And then I just kind of, through that. Let's get to the gold. So then he taught me gold. And then he started teaching me different types of old school ways of extraction and setting rounds, how to blow rounds the old school way and then the new way. And then he said, okay, now I'm going to show you how you're going to do your timbering, old school, and then, of course, today's timbering. And he says that way, if you ever get in a pinch and you're out somewhere in the middle of nowhere and you have to do some timbering, you can use what's available. If not, then you can use Douglas fir or what have you, and then you can frame it and then put it in. So he showed me how to do that. And he says small scale to large scale, it doesn't matter. You just have to increase the size of your timber. And then there's a formula that you use that determines the type of or the size of the timber that you use and the distance that your sets are set apart. It's a complex formula, but my rule of thumb is if it's really soft, I do 3 feet. If it's not that soft, then I do 5 feet between sets. I don't go over 5 feet between my sets.
Okay.
So if it's a small drift, you can get away with a 4x6. I don't like using 4x6s. I'd rather use a 6x6. But they're so hard to find and 4x6s you can find anywhere at any box store. They have tons of them. And so I try to keep my 4x6s, the sets, relatively close, no more, about 4 feet apart. If the ground is really super unstable, then like I said, I'll move them to 3 feet apart.
Okay, that's cool.
And it'll usually hold. Now, that's another reason why my drifts are so small, is if I'm going to go taller, I need heavier timber to hold that lateral pressure that's coming in. So I have to step up to a 6x6 to accommodate that.
Makes sense. Now
That's
here,
good. I don't trust a hole, so never mind about that.
now here, Jeff, maybe you could help us with this one. This is something that we talk about every week.
Every week?
Every week. This is like rhodium. It's like $14,000 an ounce. How do you mine it? Where does it come from? What can
rhodium? Wow. Well, I'll be honest with you. You caught me off guard with rhodium. I would have thought palladium or something like that, or your platinum group metals. I would have never thought you'd go that direction.
That direction, yeah.
I honestly couldn't tell you about that. I'll be up front. That's something I need to learn.
All right, that's fair.
So I mean, I'm just learning lithium because that's where the markets are going.
Right.
So and there's a huge deposit in Afghanistan. So that's what I'm trying to learn. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
Lithium,
yeah, that's where the markets are going because everything's powered by lithium. Everything. And China wants lithium really bad. And we want lithium.
Are you talking about cars?
Anything electronic.
Right.
How much is lithium an ounce now?
That I don't know. I'm just trying to learn how to localize it and figure out how to identify it and mine it, because that's where everything is going. I like to have that as a side pocket. I'm still a gold guy, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I want to expand out to these other metals. We've learned a lot about tungsten and its association with gold and how to mine it. And now I had some friends come back from Afghanistan and they said, Jeff, you need to start learning about lithium.
Okay, that's interesting.
And they said, why? And I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. I wouldn't think that was out there. And he said, you'd be amazed what's out in Afghanistan. I mean, they have, it's like a geology wonderland out there.
We do our gold presses of course, we do our gold presses every week, and that's what we talk about at the rhodium is, we see it jump, it jumped $500, $1,000, and it seems like it goes up every month, way up. And that's what we talked about, getting you on. Maybe you knew about rhodium, because we're always even on a show. Man, what do you do? How do you mine? Does anybody know how to mine for it? And
Jeff would know.
You caught me off guard. You might as well ask me how to mine Bitcoin, because I don't know.
Like 14,000 an ounce today. So
for Bitcoin or rhodium?
Rhodium.
Also, Jeff, I don't know if
hey, Jeff, believe it or not, Friday it took a $600 jump to the good.
Wow. Well, I'm going to have to look it up now.
Yeah, check it out. Now
I probably walked over it a million times, didn't even know it.
We don't know. Right. Now, Jeff, do you know, I don't know if I'm saying this name right. We'll call him Jack Coomans from Victoria, Australia.
Yeah, I know him. He's a good old boy.
Good to tell you good day.
Good day, mate. Cheers, baby. How the heck are you? Yeah, he's a good old boy. He's one of our premium patrons too.
Have you went to Australia yet, Jeff?
I was scheduled to go before all this COVID stuff happened.
Right.
Dang.
Yeah, I got a lot of buddies that live down there, and they said, Jeff, we got some reef mines and we got some opal mines that we want you to check out. And I'm like, I'm all in. Cool. And then all of a sudden that hit, and I'm like, nope, not in now.
Yeah, see, COVID screwed me out of the Yukon in the summer.
Oh no!
I was bummed. I'm like, really, dude? Come on.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, of all the times that could have happened was when that lined up with your trip.
Exactly.
I know. Trust me, I know the feeling.
Man, that would.
We wanted to go to Lightning Ridge and Cooper Pedy, all these places, and then I had some friends that said, "Oh, I got a special place in the Golden Triangle in Victoria that you got to see." And oh man, I was stoked. I was ready because that's where the big gold's at.
Yeah.
And they said,
like I said, we had a place. The camp was set up. They were going to take off the top the overburden so we could be right on the stuff and dig it. And it was all planned, and all of a sudden they went, "Sorry, sir, Canada's closed."
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Close the country.
Well, at least it'll be there for you. How's that? Unless they mined it all. Sorry, it's all gone.
Well, it was on an active mine, so I mean, I know there's probably still a little bit there, but maybe this next summer I can do
we
it.
saved you some bedrock.
You know what we should do? I think we should take a quick commercial break and then open up the phone line.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. I
Call-
can stoke the fire. It's getting cold in here.
What do you guys think? Jeff, stoke the fire.
I'm gonna stoke the fire. I got firewood here.
We'll go to a commercial and
We're
then
still live.
we'll
Ooh.
open up the old phone lines, right? Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. We'll be right back, everybody.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday.
Wrong one.
Wah.
Try it again, Sam.
Public lands. You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. The sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are fighting back. We are AMRA, American Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men, and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to unite and help the small miners and public land users on their rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their mining legal fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need it. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMineRights.com. AmericanMineRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
Gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. Discovery was massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, but still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit dirthogpaydirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. dirthogpaydirt.com. The best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
If or treasure hunting as a career, hobby, passion, or just something you're interested in getting into, you have to visit goldprospectorspace.com. At goldprospectorspace.com, you'll find forums, chats, videos, blogs, sections on dry washing, metal detecting, hybrid, so much more. At goldprospectorspace.com. For classifieds and at goldprospectorspace.com every Sunday night. 7:30 Eastern Time, tune into Prospectors Radio, the talk show for gold prospectors and treasure hunters. GoldProspectorspace.com is a social network with thousands of members, and everything you need is at GoldProspectorspace.com. Sign up today and get connected to others who share your love of gold and gold prospecting. Let the treasure hunt begin. GoldProspectorspace.com. GoldProspectorspace.com.
You're listening to Prospectors Radio on the Gold Prospectors Space Network. Phone lines are open. Have a question? 1954.
All right, everybody. Geez, that was quick. All right. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Joe Harvey.
Hey, Joe. How are you tonight?
Good. I'm in California. Jeff knows me.
Oh, Mr. Harvey, how the heck are you?
Hey, Jeff. How you doing?
Oh, just trying to stay warm. It's freezing.
Hey, you know what? Couple things. Whatever happened to the to the front end loader, the backhoe that you were buying? You never said what you was gonna do with it.
Oh, it's still up there. It's at the ranch right now. That's a John Deere 410, and it's still sitting up there. It's just haven't been able to get up there. Now, of course, it's snowed in. They got a ton of snow that just came in, but it's still there. We're still waiting to use it. Use it for trench sampling and running some dirt. So, but yeah, it's still there.
You know.
What's that, Joe?
Couldn't hear you.
You there? 6 in March.
Say that one more time.
Caught up with you?
I couldn't hear that. Could you repeat that, please?
You were supposed to come to the Route 66 meeting in last March.
Oh yeah, we had to cancel that. Actually, Mark was the one that canceled that because of the COVID. So we're waiting for the numbers to go down so we can go down there and do it again. So we had a whole bunch of them we had to cancel in Phoenix and California and yeah, we can't be moving around like that like we used to.
Yeah, you haven't shown Slim much lately, and I found out what happened to him.
Well, you tell that boy to get back here because somebody needs to clean out that honey pot.
He got married in Vegas, and I got a picture of him and Skinny Jenny, the girl he married. And I was
well, hopefully that tames his fire a little bit because he's been honored for the last couple of years. So, and tell him no children.
Another thing that you had talked about, you were talking about the last time you was on talk radio about doing Alaska.
Yeah, we were supposed to do Alaska, and also Australia. But like I said, ever since this big old pandemic happened, everything's locked down. Nobody can go anywhere and do anything, and we had to shut everything down, and we can't get groups of people together. We can't go to places, and so yeah, we're just kind of stuck here in the cabin.
Yeah, I was trying to get a hold of you to go to Gold King Creek. I was actually able to sneak into Alaska to go to King Creek, Alaska. I was the only one there for 2 weeks, and all I did was dug my butt off, and I got a bunch of gold.
Oh, did you freeze your booty off? I bet it was cold up there.
No, I actually stayed between 58 and 70 degrees.
Oh, wow. That ain't bad.
Yeah, and there were supposed to be 10 people in the camp, and they had to cancel. All the camps in Canada, they canceled their mining operations.
Yep.
Didn't get anybody in there to work.
Wow. Well, that paid off for you then.
I snuck into Alaska. I snuck in there, and the only way to get to Gold King Creek is by airplane, by private plane.
Yep, bushcraft.
I got to Alaska in June. And nobody asked me going to the airport if I had the slip that you're supposed to have.
Right.
That was luck.
Wow, you got lucky on that one.
Boy, I did. And I wanted you and Alan to go up there with me this year.
All right. Well, we'll have to see how everything plays out. Things are still a little bit fast and furious right now.
Fast and furious. Oh, by the way, you need to lay off the Taco Tuesdays. You're having to make the mine a little bigger to get.
Well, I'll be sure to do that, son of Jim.
Anyway, I noticed when you was being sucked into that hole.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. I thought I was gonna get a shish kebab through my neck.
Yeah, but it looked like you was kind of having a hard time going through there because of the Taco Tuesdays.
Yeah. Well, I need to cut down on those steak dinners too. I tell you what, I'm starting to look like a pear.
All right, Joe. Well,
Oh,
we got some more calls coming in, Joe. We want to thank you for calling,
Okay.
buddy. All right, you have a good night.
Thanks, Joe.
yeah, be in touch, man.
All right, take care, my friend.
Take care, Joe.
Yeah.
Bye, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Hey, here's another call for you. All right, hello. caller. Name, where you calling from?
Larry Englehart, Menifee,
Larry!
I knew Larry called.
How the heck are you, Larry?
I'm going stir crazy. The closest I can get to gold is
How do you think I feel? I'm stuck here in this cabin with Slim.
Yeah, you probably got
And in the stove over here, and I tell you what, he don't smell good either. His breath stinks, and he's always telling me to clean out the honey pot. Well, I'll trade you. You want? I'll trade you places. You come stay here in the cabin.
No, let's just forget that one. Oh,
Now, I know why you're calling, because you want to know what's going on with the tours.
well, I think you just answered that. You got to wait a while.
Yeah, I got to wait for everything to calm down before I get groups of people together, because, well, you know why. And you know, and everything's still good. I still, you know, I still remember, so don't worry. And I got a big surprise for you too.
All right.
Yeah, you'll like this one. Oh man, you'll love this one.
When am I
Oh,
gonna-
and we got some new hard rock mines for you to play in.
Oh, okay.
If you want to do that, how's your knees feel? Because I got 1,000 feet of ladder for you.
I think I'll stick with the metal detecting.
Ah, nobody wants to climb ladders.
No, not at my age anymore.
Oh, but you doing okay, right? You hanging in there?
Oh, yeah. I need some more exercise, though.
Hey, 1,000 feet of ladder. That'll work you good. I had to rest for 2 days.
Just following you around, you're like a mountain goat trying to keep up with you kills me. So. But this is a pretty easy question. I don't know how many different states you've been into looking for gold, or how many countries you've gone to, maybe Mexico or something. But what would be your favorite state to look for gold, and what's the reason for that?
That's a good question.
Wow, that is a good question. Because each state has a ton of gold in it, if you know what to look for. And I'm going to break it into 2 answers. Okay, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
So, for placer, I'm going with Arizona, and for lode gold, I'm going with Nevada.
Yeah, buddy.
How's that?
All right, and what are your reasons?
Oh, because Arizona has got tons of placer gold in it. I can think of 10 places off the top of my head where you can get some nice placer. Now, you can get placer in Nevada, don't get me wrong, but I've had better luck personally finding lode deposits in Nevada, and especially the epithermals, the really shallow ones. And I've been really fortunate to find a lot of placer gold in Arizona. Now, don't discount California. It's got tons of gold too, but the legislation there is crazy, and so I've been limited on what I can do there. But the Bradshaws is a good example. They got a ton of placer in there, up around Prescott, Wickenburg, places like that, Congress, Antelope Wash, all
Black
up in
Canyon City.
Huh?
Black Canyon City.
Yeah, there you go. There's a ton of placer in there, up around Kingman, in the Black Hills outside of Oatman. I've been really fortunate to find a lot of placer gold there. Of course, our stomping grounds around King Tut and Gold Basin. There just seems to be a large amount of placer gold available there, and of course, the size of the gold that really pulls me and draws me in there to Arizona, because you can find some really big placer gold in Arizona. Nevada, you got the Rye Patch and you got some other places. It's not bad, but Arizona to me is the king when it comes to placer gold as far as that's concerned. But hard rock gold, man, I tell you what, we posted a video on Facebook where we just got another hard rock mine, and Max Berry just found a new deposit in there. So of specimen gold that you can see. So I'm going to go with Nevada for my hard rock. every time.
Okay. Okay. Well, sometime in the future, then I'll see you in Arizona.
Yes, you will, my friend. And I got, like I told you, I got a surprise for you that you're really gonna like. I haven't forgot about you.
Yeah, I thought I was going to win a prize the other night when you're calling names. Your wife said Larry.
I thought I did too. I heard Larry. I'm like, is that my Larry? Wah, wah. No, it's not my Larry. I wanted it to be you. But you got to talk to the missus about that.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go so other people can get on the line.
All right. You take care now, all right? You be safe out there.
I will. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Larry. Pretty cool. Good question. All right. Remember, the number's 419-520-7574.
Now, Jeff, do you do a lot in Kingman or you do more down more south?
Well, we have claims all over the place. I like going through the Surbats. I've always loved the Surbats. And there's gold in there. Of course, it was known for its silver chloride, but it does have gold in there too. And outside of Kingman, there's two placer deposits. There's the Lookout placer deposits that we like. And then there's the Holy Moses mine, which is not far from another placer deposit. And then if you go south from there, you get close to Lake Havasu, and then you've got a ton of deposits in the Mojave Mountains on the north end. And also on the other side, on the south end, that were mined by Mexican miners all the way up into the late 1800s. So that whole stretch right there has got some nice gold. And of course, the Black Mountains too. They have placer gold in the Black Mountains. So which is up there around Bullhead City, Oatman, all those places in there. Now, it's not like super, super big, but it is there. I can dry wash and get some nice gold in a day. Right. So.
All right, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Ronald from Minnesota. Doing it the old-fashioned way.
There you go. How are you tonight?
Ronald from Minnesota. I bet it's cold where you're at.
Yeah, it's getting cold. It'll be cold this next week. Yeah, it's nice out here. So. Nice to see you on the show tonight, Jeff, and hello to your lovely wife, Willa.
Leela? Her name's Leela?
I get that all mixed up. Anyway, I'm always glad to watch you guys' videos, and I have a question for you.
Of course.
What is your favorite rock anywhere that you go prospecting? What is your favorite rock to look for?
Well, see, once again, that's a tough question because it depends on your location. So, Nevada has its own characteristics. Arizona and California, it's like night and day when you're looking for gold deposits. And it's not just one rock. But if I was to number it down to one type of rock, I'd say greenstone. Greenstone is a general term. I mean, you can have like serpentine, which is a greenstone. You can have green schist, which is a greenstone. So I call it greenstone. You have greenstone hosted deposits, like your Archean greenstone hosted deposits. So I'm going to go with that because usually if you find that and you're working with deep-seated veins like your mesothermal veins, then that's going to be a good indicator right there. So the green schist, your chlorites, things of that nature, I can usually find gold with that.
And I am a premium Patreon, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much for your support, and thanks for helping us keep the dream alive.
Yeah, and everybody get out there and support your favorite prospector, whoever that might be.
And yeah. Hold on, that's gonna get a big yeehaw and shout out. Where's my gun at? Yeah.
All right, thanks, Ronald.
Gotta be careful, blow the glass right off this lantern.
I like that. Man.
Ooh, boy.
Oh man. So what's coming up for Jeff? What do you got planned next? Future?
You mean what can I talk about? Because I got a lot planned.
Keep going with it. Tell me more.
Oh yeah, I know. Are we being recorded? Is this thing on?
We're live.
Oh, that's getting hot. Hold on. Well, we got a lot planned. It just there's
I know there's
a lot going on, but it depends on what goes on in the world. So we've got all these projects lined up. all these things we want to do, but it involves.
Yeah. Well. All right, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Jess. Jess, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right.
I had to turn my volume down on my.
Yeah, turn this show down.
Yep.
You should know better.
Yeah.
I was hitting the wrong button.
All right, you got.
Hello, guys.
What's going on? You got
too,
a question?
Jeff. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing good. How you doing?
All right. Well, the reason I'm calling is because Brian told me to call in.
Brian, you mean? Oh, is this Bubbles?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I know what Bubbles. Come on now. This isn't code language. I'll meet you around the back corner. So, so how the heck are you doing?
All right.
Okay. Anything new?
No, I'm old.
Oh, come on. I don't want to hear that. Slim's 150 and you don't see him complaining.
Well, I know. You know, we just got Flashing Your Pan Crew just got back from California.
Yeah, I saw that. I've been following that on Facebook.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, how'd you all do out there? I saw some nice shiny.
Well, I'm sure you heard about the fact that I found my very first nuggets.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that too. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, that was awesome. You know, I've had nuggets, been given nuggets, bought nuggets, but I've never found nuggets. And
isn't that the greatest feeling you ever had? I mean, it's like a dream that's been realized, and now the fever burns strong, and that's all you're gonna think about.
I do. Well, like great.
Now you're gonna spend every dollar you got on mining equipment. Trust me, I know the routine.
I already do that.
Well, that's great because now you're gonna want to get out there and find more.
Yes, sir.
That's all you're gonna dream about. Now I got to warn you. There's a thing called miner's remorse. Anything smaller than what you found won't do, and it'll drive you crazy looking for a bigger one.
I know. I'm already feeling that. Trust me.
Yeah, I see it all the time. I remember when 1 gram used to get me excited. Now it don't do nothing for me. I got to have 1 ounce.
Yeah. Well, hey, I found that those 3 nuggets weighed in at almost 4 grams all together.
Oh, nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, between the whole group had 1.25 ounces, I believe, that day.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. You know, if you can't,
I'd take it.
Gold.
Yeah, it renews the faith and it builds the fire inside your soul, and then pretty soon you're thinking, man, if there's that much, there's got to be more out there.
Well, you know, there's more.
Oh, I know for a fact there's more. I know where there's gold right now. There's tons of it.
Let's go.
Oh, I can't because California won't let me dig.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I can't even bring my gun in there.
California won't let you dig.
They won't let me dig. I know where there's tons of placer gold at.
And
No, they won't let you dig. They got some funny laws there. I don't know what's going on with them.
No, they don't. They got some boob laws that some idiot made up. Be honest. I ain't candy coating it.
I don't get it. You know, if they complain about, I don't want to get into this argument, or this discussion, but they have a problem, not having enough money for their state. I can point to 2 mines right now. If they were to open them up, it would pay all their debts off right now. I guarantee it. I know exactly where the mines are at. I know the owners, and it's not a hard rock. It's a drift mine, but they went down 150 feet through all that ash flow tuff to get down to the old tertiary channels. And there's tons of gold. They still have the LHDs down there. They just need to rehab the darn thing. And it breaks my heart that there's all that gold just sitting there and they can't pull an ounce of it out.
That sucks.
that ain't right.
That sucks. But I don't know. I don't know if I asked you this when you were on our show last time. What was your MOS when you were in the Army?
Oh, I had several of them because I was retrained when I finally got to permanent party. But the primary was 89 Delta. It was 55 Bravo, 89 Delta, and they had me doing communication too on the side. So 89 Delta's EOD, 55 Bravo's ammo specialist, and then communications. I forget what that one. That was he's 11 Hotel or 11 Echo, one of the two. I can't remember.
Cool.
Very cool.
So that's what I did. That's why when I got out, it was a no-brainer to be a powder monkey. I got to play with the big stuff. So playing with ammonium nitrate's nothing.
Yeah, I was a 67 Y20, which is
okay. How long were you in?
I was in for a year during NAM. I was over in NAM.
Oh, okay. Man, you saw combat.
I was in combat. I was support.
Oh, combat support. Okay.
Yeah, I was in an airfield taking care of a helicopter, a Cobra, keeping it flying.
Very good.
Did I see combat? No, not really, but it was all around me.
Yeah, that'll put the fear of God in you right there. I tell you what.
Oh yeah, it was all around me. But yeah, that's and like I said, the reason I called in is because Brian told me to call in.
Well, you tell him thank you on my behalf.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jess.
He's in the chat room. That's what he does to me. Every time he sees me, even when I'm on our show, he tells me to call in.
Yeah,
Brian. You give him an attaboy for me.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Jess. Thanks,
All
buddy.
right.
You take
So
care.
I'll let whoever's coming on next come on next.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Later, Jess.
Hi, buddy.
Later.
Now, had another question in the chat room. It was like, hey, we had Pioneer Paulie on last week, and he was telling us a little story about when he grabbed your gun.
And I said, don't say that, boy. Just drop those pants. He's lucky I didn't have my banjo with me. How you feel about being Ned Beatty, huh?
I thought the story was funny because he was like, well, I thought the gun was always fake, and I'm like, man, I'm glad people don't try to grab my gun because no, it's loaded, it's real.
Yeah, he grabbed that darn thing, and I'm like, if you jerk that thing, that trigger's gonna go off. I wouldn't do that if I were you. So we fired that mucker off for him, and he's like, wow, I thought it was just like a prop. I'm like, what good is a prop gonna do me out here against a two-legged critter?
That's right.
What am I gonna do? Throw it at him like they do in the movies when they run out of bullets?
You might as well have a rock.
Yeah, shaped like a gun. Stand back or I'll fire my rock at you.
Now, Down East Detecting and Prospecting in the chat room asked if you think that hammer you talked about on Ancient Aliens is really 100 million years old.
Wow, man, that came out of left field. We did a whole bunch of episodes for Ancient Aliens, and some of them you guys haven't even seen yet. The hammer. Well, I did research on it, and from everything I saw, yeah, the hammer is authentic and it's old.
100 million.
So, that's the short version. The long version, of course, is on the show. So
on one of them shows, finally. It was
wait a minute. You're on Ancient Aliens?
Yeah, I'm on a whole bunch of episodes.
Finally,
you know what? I see that on TV all the time. I've watched a couple of them, but I've never heard your name or anything across it, so I've never seen your name. So that's pretty cool.
The first one we did was Forged by the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking about King Tut's dagger and all that stuff. And then we did some more. I'd say last year we did some before the COVID thing. And we were talking about some of the islands and the geology of the islands that have the Easter Island with the stone heads and things of that nature. They just recently came out, but you have to pay to watch those. So expect to see those, I don't know, in a couple months when it's free to watch on TV.
Right. Yeah, I see.
So,
cool.
Yeah, we did a lot of those shows. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, totally different Jeff on that show.
It is. I said, can I bring my gun? They said no. I said, can I say so? Come on, let's go. No. Matter of fact, get rid of that hat. What you can?
Yeah, there was no hat.
I look like some pencil pushing geek. I should have taped my glasses in the middle.
I would have had to say no on the hat part.
Oh, I love my hat. Oh, Billy.
That goes where I go. Right, Scott?
Well, that's a part of you. That's a part of who you are, you know. I mean,
yeah, well, take it or leave it. So my supervisor suggested I go with it. So I went with it.
Yeah, why not? I would. That's cool. That's
Yeah, I left the hat back. Well, they said the reason why is because of the shadows. And the lighting would cause issues. And
Right.
so I understand that. And then at first I couldn't wear my glasses because of the reflection, but then they moved the lighting to accommodate that because I couldn't see nothing without them because they were asking me questions and I had to there was a clipboard that I had to read off of every question. So
right. So that's pretty
it was a lot of fun. I really liked it.
How long was filming for that, Jeff? Usually when you do
they flew me out to Hollywood, Burbank, and we filmed all day, and then they flew me back. They said I could stay overnight, but I'm like, nah, I want to get back to the cabin because Slim's probably chomping at the bit. And so it usually takes one day, and they film a whole bunch of episodes in one shot. So I usually get about maybe 20 to 30 questions I have to answer, which covers about maybe 4 or 5 episodes. And then they just slowly bleed them off over time. And so you'll see me in some and not in others. Right. And that way they keep the show fresh and they have new faces on. So, yeah, I had a lot of people say, is that Jeff? Yeah, that's me. That's me all slicked back.
Seems like you're getting more and more airtime on that show. So that's cool. Maybe coming
up.
Yeah,
I really like them. And they always have me on. And they another company was going to send me out to Russia to do a show out there. Wow. And it was the show, I think I told you this, Raising the Woolly Mammoth Part 2. I was supposed to do that one, but I never got a chance to do that one. I'm not good.
You know, there's a lot of skeletons over there, a lot of fossils of that in Russia. There's tons of fossils in Russia.
And now that the permafrost is melting at a unbelievable rate, you're starting to see tons of them, and some of them they still have the fur and enough DNA material on them for them to play with. You know, China's in on that too. They're trying to actually clone one.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to take the DNA material and put it in an elephant and see if they can clone it that way. Use it.
Hey, wait a minute. Haven't we seen a movie about this called Jurassic Park?
Yeah, well. If they can think of it, trust me, they'll try it. What else they're trying to clone?
Right.
Exactly.
All right, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, GPS guy. How you doing?
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, not a heck of a lot. Really enjoying the show, Tim. You're knocking this one right out of the park, buddy.
Awesome.
Woo, yeah, baby.
Okay, now on to the Jeff Williams. Hey, I've got one of those questions that's probably none of your business, but a man's just.
It don't hurt to ask. All I can do is say no, right?
Okay, all right. Well, here you go. So, with your gold mining, are you actually making enough gold per year to support your ass and all that digging and all the 6x6 timbers? And all the travel you got going, or are you mainly relying on the YouTube and the Hollywood situation to be the rich and the famous?
Wow. Funny, I get asked that question a lot. And I got some people who ask me, Jeff, I want to sell my house and do what you do. Should I do it? So I'll give you the short version because this is a complicated answer or a complicated way to respond. But the bottom line is that just one of those is not enough. So you got to remember that I've had other jobs in the past. I'm retired from a lot of those, and I draw pensions from a lot of those, and those are the foundation right there. And then everything else on the side is like frosting on the cake. So I put my time in and I earned it. So with a lot of these companies, and so that's where I get the bulk of the finances from. And then we have gold mines, and sometimes we make a little money, and we don't actually rely on that because it's too unpredictable. And of course, we're all small scale, so you can't make that much money off of it. YouTube, anybody out there doing YouTube knows that that's kind of a hit and miss. It don't pay that well. It used to in the past, but now you've got so much competition out there because everybody and their uncle has got a YouTube channel, and it don't pay that well. But when you add them all together, it's not too bad. It keeps things moving, and just enough to keep us, being able to keep doing what we're doing. And of course, a lot of our support comes from our premium patrons. And that's what I tell them. Without them, we couldn't really do this. We'd be just right on that fine edge of having to stay localized. So they're helping us keep the dream alive. This way we can go out and we can travel. We can look for new deposits. We can find new claims for them to mine on. So with everything together, that's the answer. It takes a whole lot to make it happen.
Okay, one more quick one here. We got an ongoing thing here with GPS, and there's a dying question out there that most people have got to find out about the real answer.
Okay.
Most of the fellows here on Gold Prospector Space, they all pitched together and they bought a brand new Slim. He's got a brand new birthday. It was just born just recently, and he ought to be a mining fool, but he ain't got no mentor. So apparently, Manny needs to go ahead and talk to Slim and see if there's a collaboration there going of a real miner teaching a young miner how to do his thing.
There's a picture of him.
This is kind of an inside joke, but
there's the picture of him.
What's that on his? Is that him? What's that on his upper lip? That looks like a dirty Sanchez.
That's him. It's Manny.
Manny.
Hey, where's Mo and Jack at?
It's Scott's mining partner.
Oh man, I tell you what. Yeah, it's funny when you move your head, his eyes move.
No, it's that way in real life, Jeff. It's that way in real life, no doubt.
Well, at least he's got skin on his body.
Thanks, Ray. You take care, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Ray.
I've been watching your videos, Jeff. You're getting in some mighty tight holes there. Be careful when you're slipping through them things, and don't let no rock fall on you. And stay safe, and God bless everybody.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate it.
Ray.
Oh, Ray.
Bye, buddy. All right. That's our buddy Ray Russo up there on the left. Yeah, we all pitched in and bought Scott a mining partner. It's a Manigan, and we named him Manny.
A Manigan.
It is.
His name is Manny, and he's supposed to be helping Scott and in Scott's videos, and Scott has let us down for months and still hasn't put him in no videos yet with him. And so
well, he was afraid. He was afraid because you had Slim, and we trying to tell him it's not a skeleton, it's a mannequin.
Not a mannequin.
It's still. I mean, I don't know how you guys. I'm a gold digger. It still feels like a copycat trick, thing. But he's going to be in a video sometime. I just got to know where to put him in.
Manny's not going to talk like Slim talks. Manny's just there doing things with Scott.
Now hold on, keep this PG.
Yeah.
No, Jeff, this mannequin's full size, dude. Like if you put it all together, he's like 6 foot something. It's crazy.
Taller than him.
And the only thing I could do is carry around half of him because he's like 120 pounds when he's built. It's like it's crazy.
Well, at least you're getting the carpooling lane with no problem with him.
Yeah, I thought about trying that out.
A lot of benefits. It's a good mining partner for him. We figured.
Oh, you can have fun with him on Halloween. I can think of all kinds of things to do with him.
So can we, but Scott won't do them.
I'll get there. Look, I right now, you guys, I'm digging gold, and I'm trying to get as much gold as I can, as quick as I can. And I'm trying to shoot videos, which is not easy because shooting videos and doing gold, you actually got to take a break off of one to do both of them.
Yeah, it's a tough job trying to mine and film at the same time.
But you know what, Jeff? People just think you can just push your phone out or you just film whatever you're doing and just make a video. I'm like, no, dude, if you want to make it actually look like you can actually put it on TV, it takes a lot of time to figure out what you want to show, where your angle's coming, where your angle's going, how you want to edit it. You want to put it all together. And then good God forbid if you got music you want to put on it or any advertisements or any kind of voiceovers. It's not easy.
Yeah, trust me, I've been down in the drifts yelling and swearing at the cameras and everything because it's like, man, there's no room and I got to film, but I got to dig and I got to see what this is, but oh my God, it's out of focus and oh, the battery's dead and oh, it's lunchtime. Oh, I got to go to the bathroom. Hold on. And I mean, just, it's not easy. People don't realize that. They just, oh, he's having such a good time down there. Well, you're only seeing the bonus.
Yeah.
You don't see the hard part.
Now, I have another question from our Spreaker chat room. This is from Dylan Herrera. He says, hey, Jeff, my name's Dylan from Orange County, California.
Hey, Dylan.
I am only 22 and haven't found my first speck of gold yet. Where do I start? Also, where is a good spot you know of to prospect between San Bernardino and the Colorado River?
Wow.
There's
actually, that's a wide spread right there. I can think of a lot of places in between those two.
Yeah, buddy.
He's all right. So
he's in Orange.
Huh? Is he listening or? Huh?
He's listening. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, this is a complicated response because right now the price of gold is going up. It's about $19.50 an ounce. Mining companies and even private entrepreneurs, everybody's out there claiming up every square ounce of land they can get their hands on. So it's really hard to say, oh, go here, because last time, oh, Jeff, you said to go there. Now it's all claimed up and I got shot. So what I tell people is if you're just getting started into this and you're not really sure where to go or what to do, you need to find a club that's within your area because they've already got claims set up for you to look for gold and they can help you along the way. Okay. So like you've got out there in that area, you've got for like say the old Dale district, you've got the first class miners out there. They got some good claims. They got some placer gold out there. Sign up with them and they'll put you on their claims. You'll find your gold. You can get your feet wet and then you can start branching off and looking for your own stuff. You've also got GSSN. You got GPAA. GSSN is Gold Seekers of Southern Nevada, but they do have claims in other states. You've got GPAA that has like the red Chispa claim, which is a pretty good claim. I would say get involved with them first, because if I can tell you where to go, but if you're not really sure what you're doing, then you could walk right over it. And also you have to know how to research the land first before you go there, because it might be claimed up by the time that we get done talking. So I always tell people you might want to get started with that first.
Great answer.
Or find a guy that you know that actually mines and go with them one day.
Yeah, if you can do that. I mean, that's kind of hard to say, unless you go on a forum and you look for somebody like that, or on Facebook and you say, I want to go out mining with somebody, but you don't know who you're going with. And what if they turn out to be an axe murderer and they throw you down the shaft? So I always tell people, get involved with a club first, a reputable club, and get your feet wet, ask all the questions you can. And of course, ask me, I'll do what I can. And then when you're ready, I can say, okay, there's areas, but you need to go on to mylandmatters.org, check land status because it's tied in with BLM LR 2000. Find out if it's open, then go out there, start sampling and find your own stuff. So, but right now there's so much stuff that's claimed up. It's hard for me to give you a specific site. I used to, about five years ago, I could say, I know 4 different locations right now you can go to and find gold. But since then, everybody's claimed it up. Now, I don't know if that's because I've been running my mouth or because the price of metals have been going up, but they're all claimed up. So it's getting tougher and tougher to just say, oh yeah, why don't you head over here to this spot? You can do some panning and find about 4 grams in a day. So
I think you're right. Clubs is the way to go.
Yep. If you're starting out,
you'll definitely find some gold if you get with the club. So
yep.
Great answer, Jeff. Really awesome. See, I like it. Hopefully it answered your question, Dylan. So pretty cool. And you'll find your first spec the next time you go.
Yeah. And then it'll just go from there.
Yeah, then it's the
Fever sets in, and
then dig in because
Yeah, you better hold on for 8 seconds because it's going to be a rough ride.
Yeah, and just think of 100 years ago. Always think 100 years ago, not now.
Yeah.
interesting.
So,
Pretty cool though. Yeah. And so where has poor Slim been, Jeff?
well, if you watch the last video, he's been in the outhouse. I swear he's got a tunnel connected to his drip mine.
That green schist is what
Yeah, I know, right? He's found the mother lode. Oh, he's still around. It's nice though not having him in the cabin. I can do what I want, wake up when I want, don't have to smell his breath.
Yeah.
He don't wake me up in the middle of the night, tell me how crazy I am.
How's Jack doing?
Huh? Oh, Nevada Jax, he's okay. He retired. I think I told you that last time. He's getting up there, so he don't chase trains anymore.
Okay.
So I have him around now and then, but he's kind of localized right now. And I was gonna have him over today, but he said, "Oh, it's too cold outside." I said, "I got a fire going."
Yeah.
He said, "No, it's cold outside." That means I got to go outside to get to your cabin. Okay, I got you.
You tell him we said hello, and
I will definitely tell him. He'd be happy to hear that.
maybe next time you're on, he can join you again. It's always nice.
Yeah, he's always fun. I like teasing him too. People tell him I'm too hard on him, but I tell him, heck no. He's a crusty old booger. I can be as hard on him as I want.
It's called tough love, Jeff.
That's
Tough love.
right.
That's what
Give them both barrels.
Jeff, we want to thank you again, as always, for coming and hanging out with us. You know,
Oh, yeah, you bet. Are you kidding me? It's always fun to hang out and jaw jack about gold. I can do this all day.
we like when you come on. It's always a blast. Great time. We always learn a lot, and we just enjoy you being here. And
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
so when you get ready to do this next hunt, like you said, if it's in February or March, we'll get you back on then, so you could tell us all about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, then I can tell you how big the treasure is and whether or not, it's going to be that hard to find because it's going to be hard.
if they want to keep updates, Jeff, tell them where to go now to keep in touch with you on your Patreon channel.
Oh, yeah, on Patreon, you just punch in Ask Jeff Williams on Google, and you'll see my Patreon site come up. I think it's the third one down, and then just click on it, or you can just punch in Jeff Williams Patreon, and it'll come up that way on Google. We're everywhere. So and then that way they can because I have the section in there where it has highlights of what we're going to be doing, and all they got to do is make a $10 pledge, and they're in, and they can get in on the treasure hunt.
Awesome. Yeah. So we'll get you back on. We want to hear some more when it's time.
Yeah, and I'll have more stories too. Hopefully,
and just to let them know, what was in your last treasure box again?
Oh, there was it was hundreds and hundreds of Morgan coins, silver bars, thousands and thousands of dollars in that box.
And the next treasure is going to be better.
It's going to be much better, much bigger. They better bring their big boy pants because it's going to weigh about 200 pounds. I ain't kidding either. It's going to be a good one. So, but it's going to be tough to find. This isn't Disneyland. This is going to be the real deal.
Cool.
So,
wait,
but it'll be well worth it. I tell you what, you retire on that darn thing.
There you go. I can't wait, buddy. Well, you take care, Jeff. Thank you as always. And
oh yeah, you betcha.
Look forward to talking to you again soon, my friend.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody. See you soon.
Jeff.
All right. Bye-bye.
Awesome. You guys want to rattle off the gold prices real quick?
Man, I got them right here. You ready to hear them? Let's get on this thing.
Handle them.
Man, this is the thing I got right here, and I know it's got to be the same thing as of 11:06. Wait, we got a caller.
Another call.
All right. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Thomas.
Thomas. What's going on?
What's going on?
You just missed him. He just left.
Oh yeah, I was watching. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't really want to talk to Jeff. I mean, I like him, but
You didn't
I
really,
didn't really
want
have anything for him.
you didn't really want to talk to him. Yeah.
My thing was, I had just have a statement for Scott there.
Okay.
Oh, Swifty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I appreciate him. I appreciated that he made me the person of the week a couple of weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really felt special after he finally remembered who I was.
Oh, quit it.
Well, Thomas, you do a lot, for Indiana also, and you do these outings and stuff, so the credit's got to be given to the right people. So
Well deserved, Thomas. You earned it.
Well, yeah, I just would like to be remembered at the time, But then
I hear you.
that wasn't the worst of it. The worst of it was as soon as he remembered who I was, then he promptly made me share it with somebody.
Oh wait, did he?
Yes. Yes. And I thought we were boys.
Who'd he make you?
What are you talking about?
Who'd he make you share it with?
Go back and listen to the show.
Okay.
You will find out he stuttered for a long time trying to figure out who it was.
Uh-huh.
He did. I remember.
Somebody.
I was trying to give him hints, and he wasn't understanding the hints that I was trying to tell him.
I think I remember. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, nobody's perfect.
Especially Scott.
See, we used to be friends, Scott. I don't know now.
Yeah, now it's like.
I think I said something like it starts with a T, and
yes.
He's
Right.
from Indiana, and
You tried all.
You did, right? You pretty much spelled it out for him.
You guys are killing me.
Oh yeah, Thomas.
yeah.
That's Scott's pick of the week.
I remember I couldn't, I was all ready to say what I wanted to say, and for some reason it just went blank.
Yeah.
Hey, every now and then that happens. Just saying.
Thomas is your buddy though, man. That's not supposed to happen.
Well, that's why I gave him like a couple shout outs beforehand. Always glad to have him, doing stuff back there and put things on and making stuff happen, get people to show up. It takes a lot, to go on. But, hey, every now and then, man, I got a lot of names in my head. Sometimes I get them mixed up.
God, you were looking at a piece of paper.
Right.
He was.
Yeah.
And still screwed it up.
Hey,
I see.
it's just the way it goes.
I see why you're hurt, Thomas. I'd feel the same
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I mean,
right. I'd be the same
you know,
way. It'd be like,
right.
We still got your name out there.
We both from the same area, and you would think, we would just kind of remember you, and
right.
He just went on about his business big time now.
Just saying, we know your name, Thomas Pennyway Fowles, man. We know your name. We know your game. We got you.
Yeah, but he was the pick of the week. I mean, that's kind of.
Hey, I stumbled when I was running. I can't help it. Sometimes there's a shoestring untied. I can't help it.
Shoestring? God, you had a rope around your ankle.
Right short of that Happy Meal.
He had a rope around his neck trying to find a tree.
Okay, are you going to be able to forgive him, Thomas? Is the question.
I don't know. I went to the guy's restaurant. I went to watch him do his thing at the Gold Show last year, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, and this is the thanks I get.
Yeah, that's
and he still didn't know who you were.
Dang.
Wow.
Hey, at least I still called it out.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I'd have to reconsider this friendship and
Really think it hard.
reevaluate it, Thomas. It's like,
Hey, Thomas, you going to come out to Arizona this year?
Yeah, we should be down there probably either the end of February, first part of March sometime.
Oh, you're getting late. Okay.
That's the same time we come every year.
Yeah, he usually goes out for the Gold Show and everything.
You can't even remember when you come down now.
Yeah, right.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I come see the guy, and he just don't even remember me.
Right.
Well, I mean, that was kind of a persuasion. Maybe you might come a little earlier, whatever.
Well, when you were giving your spiel at the gold show is when he was there.
Yeah, and he was right there
Sitting
supporting,
right
No,
in
I
front
know
of
he
you.
was there, right in the front row.
supporting you. And look at that. That's just, I don't know, man. That's a rough one. I don't know how I'd take that one. Ooh.
Maybe his
Well,
memory's
like I said,
going a little bit,
Thomas, if you think about coming out like a week early this year, give me a call.
Why a week early?
That way he's got time to pack up and leave.
That way you can dig some dirt.
We can dig some dirt at the end of February, first one of March.
Yeah.
You can, I guess.
Oh, here we go. It's too cold.
Yeah, I see.
It's too hot. It's windy.
Scott. Man, we're just not clicking, man. What's going on?
I just said if you want to come and get a little extra time in, you could,
Oh, geez. Man, Scott.
I mean, if you was going to change your plans, now's the time to do it.
Scott.
Or I mean, just your travel plans.
You're gonna have to work on this relationship, Scott. You got some.
Yeah, you're on your own, Thomas.
You're gonna have to make it right.
All right, guys.
Thomas, thanks, buddy.
No problem. We'll talk to you.
See you, brother.
All right, later, bud. Bye. Man, Scott. Jeez.
Hey, things happen for real reasons.
Who's your pick of the week this week?
Wait a minute. I can't get to that yet.
All right, do your gold prices.
We're going to do metal prices. All right. Right now, as the stakes come in, what I got is, as of Friday, 11/6/2020, gold went to $19.49 plus 20 cents. But it did take a jump of $45 from last Wednesday. I want to tell you guys that. It did take a big jump.
Okay.
Silver right now, we're looking at silver is coming in at the asking price of $24.66. Actual bid is going to be $25.56. So, but that raised also 20 cents as well. We got platinum coming in at bid's going to be 887. Ask is going to be 897, which is really weird because the ask is more than what the bid is. So that's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
That actually dropped down. That actually dropped down $7.
All right.
So I mean, well, we got palladium, whichever one you want to call it. Big jump, $105 jump to 2,514 for the asking price. The bid's going to be $23.64.
Okay.
Now, rhodium. I mean, what I'm looking at right now, Tim Grimes, you were right on the money. It says $14,000, but it took a jump to the green of $600.
So it's 14.6.
So it's 14,000.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant just jump tonight or something. Okay.
Well, like I said, as the close of Friday, when it opened up Friday morning to Friday close, it went up $600.
Wow. Shoo.
That's it, dude. Can you imagine gold jumping up $600 in one night?
Yeah. Man.
Come on. That is just crazy.
Good stuff right there.
I know, I'm telling you. But anyway, coming back to the person of the week, the biggest one I've seen tonight that it blew my mind because I'm looking at the picture right now is I Pan for Gold by Vandal.
Oh.
Got a beautiful pictures of some pickers coming in at 5.15 grams.
Wow.
Very nice.
And two of them look like the two of the biggest pickers on that thing almost look like two that I have here from Arizona. So that's pretty cool. I like the shape and the texture the same way. Pretty cool.
Cool. That is cool. Congrats, Vandal, for being Scott's pick of the week.
Yeah, man. We check it out, man. The scale don't lie. 5.15. It looks pretty good. Man, the nice big chunkies. Only if I could just find pans of that. Just give me some pans of it,
Sure. And speaking of pick of the week, don't forget to check out Tuesday Night Hangouts with Ed, Jess, and Dano and the Treasure Vixens. This week, their guest is none other than Mr. Gold Cube himself, Mike Pung, will be joining
Oh,
in.
yeah.
And the gang over there. They're Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Be sure and check that out. And if you're a crony, tonight we're giving away a bag of dirt hog pay dirt to one of our cronies.
Dirt hog!
So got that. Throwing a little new crony club sticker. Goes
right.
Like that. So actually the pick of the not the pick. Why am I saying pick of the week? Thanks, Scott.
Because that's what I say. Pick of the week.
Pick of the week. All right. So the winner of the crony club pick of the week, crony club pay dirt is Wendy Young. So congratulations.
All right.
Congratulations, Wendy.
Heck yeah.
Congratulations.
If you're listening, I'm gonna have to get your mailing info and we'll get that out to you. And then we're gonna do another bag for next month. So if you didn't win this time, you might win next time. If you're a crony, that is. So thank you to our good friends.
And Wendy, if you can do a video review and throw it to GPS, would be really cool.
Dirt hog. Dirt hog, mine and Dennis's favorite pay dirt. Yeah, without a doubt. So thank you for that. And thank you to all the cronies. And a big thank you to Jeff Williams for hanging out with us tonight. That was very cool. I want to thank everybody for calling in and asking Jeff those questions. That was pretty awesome. Always a pleasure having Jeff here. So,
hey, you gonna hit birthdays real quick?
Yeah, Rick. Birthdays, if you got them, buddy.
Yeah, today's birthday is for November 8th.
Wait, does Dennis get to sing this week?
We'll just do birthdays.
All right, go ahead.
All right, we have Bob Souza. We have Brandon, Bree, Connie, Daniel Loeb, Dave Parks, John C., Larry Price, Michael Pease, Nancy Skoglund, and Ron Berger. Tomorrow's birthdays, we have 3 horses pay dirts: Andrea Trosper, Andrew Damon, Bud Brown, Dirt Classifier, James W. Johnson, Jill Chenevar Dalton, and Larry Berg.
All right.
Any of them
Happy birthday
out that you want to highlight, Rich?
Let's do Daniel Lobb.
All right. Daniel Lobb.
He had a funny picture. That's why I picked it.
Okay.
He's a male from Victoria, Australia.
Okay.
He does alluvial and detecting for prospecting. Doesn't belong to any clubs. He found a site from Lucky, who referred you to the site. No one, what kind of equipment do you use? Gold Panda Sleuths.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Let's see. He's been a member since it's loading. Looks like 2014 November.
All right. That's pretty good.
Cheers.
It's all good. And that was today's. Got one for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm waiting till it loads.
Loading.
It's loading.
Loaded. Come on. My computer's slow. Come on.
Loading.
Wind up battery.
Dennis, never mind. It was so funny because I thought something. You started laughing. I'm like, I don't know if we're thinking of the same thing, but after the show, we'll talk about it.
Come on. All right. Tomorrow. Let's go with Dirt Classifier. Okay. Man, my computer's slow.
Loading.
Loading. Oh, it's a male from Tacoma, Washington. Likes to do dredging, high banking, and drilling and detecting. Is a GPAA member. Dennis Katz is the one who referred him to the site. And likes to use all kinds of equipment. And has been a member since loading. Looks like 2013 of April.
7 years.
Oh, well, happy birthday, loading.
Yeah, no doubt. Happy
birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday.
And Dennis Katz, that's the Fosker, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's the Fosker. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yep, I believe you are correct.
Dude, he's a great guy to talk to.
Yep. All right. Well, if that's it, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. And don't forget to join us for West Coast Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
I was going to say, yeah, actually this Wednesday.
This Wednesday. Yep. All right. We're out of here. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Gold Diggers.
Be sure to tune in Monday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.